One teenager shot and another in custody after a shooting at a Norman elementary school. We have the details.
And well above average temperatures are continuing into this week, besides a chance to see a cool down on Saturday. I'll have your forecast and more.
And Oklahomans can begin voting a week from today. What you need to know as Election Day approaches. This is OU Nightly.
Well, thanks for watching OU Nightly. I'm Chloe Arroyo.
And I'm Kennedy Patterson. We begin tonight with an update to breaking news we first brought you on social media last night. A shooting on the playground at Reagan Elementary in Norman after school hours.
OU Nightly's Kaylee Jo Hummel joins us live with the latest information. Kaylee Jo?
Yeah, I am live outside of Reagan Elementary, where police have confirmed a shooting took place last night. Now, that investigation is still ongoing, but the shooting happened near a school, which raised concerns for parents as they dropped off their kids this morning.
I was kind of skeptical to let him go to school today.
Families trying to get back to normal after a shooting near Reagan Elementary.
I felt nervous. I really did. I noticed like the kids wasn't hardly walking to school. They were all in the vehicles and stuff.
Norman police responded to reports of gunshots last night.
Only thing we heard was pop, pop.
Police say the victim, a 15-year-old female, was taken to the hospital. Her injuries are believed to be non-life-threatening. They also say they've arrested a suspect, a 15-year-old male. While the incident happened by the school, Norman PD assures the safety of students and staff.
Anytime an incident of this nature occurs around a school or near a school, there's definitely concern from the community, but this incident was isolated.
Parents say they were told students would not be allowed outside for recess, and police were seen on the outside of the school during the day.
Hopefully they can figure out why it happened.
Like I mentioned earlier, this is still an active investigation. We'll continue to cover this story as it develops. Reporting live, Kaylee Jo Hummel, OU Nightly.
Well, thank you, Kaylee Jo. And although the first official day of fall was weeks ago, the warmer weather still has yet to take a hint.
In fact, OU Nightly meteorologist Carlin McCreary is tracking record-breaking temperatures today. Carlin?
That's right, ladies. It most definitely does not feel like fall outside right now. We've got record-breaking temperatures across the metro, seeing 90 degrees right now in Norman, 88 in Oklahoma City. And just to put this into perspective, the normal high we usually see this time of year is 70 degrees. So we are just about 20 degrees above what we usually see this time of year. And across the state, we are also seeing a lot warmer temperatures as well. But the allergies are something that also comes with fall, and the ragweed is through the roof right now. So don't forget to grab those tissues. And coming up in just a little bit, I'm going to talk more about the record-breaking temperatures and the windy next few days and your full forecast, ladies.
All right, thanks, Carlin. See you in just a bit. Tonight, Vice President Kamala Harris will attend CNN's hosted town hall while former President Donald Trump makes his way towards Georgia. Julia Roberts has the latest in the presidential and local races from the Election Center.
Chloe, Vice President Kamala Harris is in Philadelphia ahead of tonight's CNN town hall. Vice President Harris will answer live questions in front of a crowd of undecided voters tonight at 8 o'clock. Former President Donald Trump declined to participate in the event, but instead will be in Georgia hosting his own town hall before later holding a rally. Former President Barack Obama with some sharp words at a campaign rally for Vice President Harris. The former president criticizing fellow former President Trump's proposed immigration policy. Take a listen.
He did not solve the problem, and I'll tell you why. Because he does not have a real plan. He has concepts of a plan, and it's a mean and ugly plan.
Over the last couple of days, I watched him campaign. What a divider he is, right? What a divider he is.
And with less than 2 weeks before Election Day, early voting is making its way in many states. Texas breaking its record on Monday for people casting their votes in person. Oklahoma early voting starts October 30th and runs through November 2nd. Be sure to bring some form of ID, and you must vote for the county you are registered in. To see your country's ballot, head to the state's election board's website. The Harris-Walz campaign says this morning vice presidential candidate Tim Walz hits the polls, voting for Kamala Harris and himself. Today, Trump told Fox News he plans on voting early as well. Chloe, Kennedy.
Thanks, Julia. Oklahoma's power in D.C. might be tested as leadership could be changed in this election. Gaylord News' Ireland Fitzer has how roles in the House might change for Oklahoma delegates.
What's at stake? This is what Oklahoma's House members wonder as the presidential election only grows closer, and whether the Democrats or the Republicans win the House is a split 50-50. Now a power shift might just throw off Oklahoma's influence in Congress.
It's been a really long time since Oklahoma has had this type of influence in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, Oklahoma is really uniquely positioned in a way that's really beneficial for the state.
Oklahoma Representative Tom Cole currently sits holding the nation's purse strings as head of the Appropriations Committee. If the Democrats were to gain control of the House, this would put him as the ranking minority member. But what does this mean for his power?
Still a real benefit for being the ranking minority member on a committee like Appropriations.
Representative Cole is known as someone who works across the aisle.
As for Representative Frank Lucas, one of the longest-standing Oklahoma House members, he currently sits as head of the House Committee on Science, Space, and Technology. He would ultimately get bumped down as well. But he did make his intentions clear back in April of this year that he intends to run for the House Financial Services Committee chair, saying with his 30 years of experience on this committee, he is well equipped to take the lead. But Lucas securing this position would take a Republican win in the House. Now, it's impressive how these long tenures seem to boost and help our sitting congressional delegates gain power and recognition, even if they don't hold a sitting chair. But until after the election, we're not sure where the chips will fall as far as leadership. Reporting in D.C., Ireland Fitzer, Gaylord News.
Both Representatives Tom Cole and Frank Lucas are up for election this year. However, both are expected to retain their seats.
An ongoing wildfire in New Zealand threatens rare and endangered animals.
We'll have the latest update in today's Earth Report.
Plus, it's Open Access Week on campus.
We'll tell you what this means for students after the break. Fire risk across Oklahoma due to drought conditions, plus floods take over a town in the New Mexico desert. Colson Pocock has more in Earth Report.
35 Oklahoma counties are under a burn ban due to extremely dry conditions. Most of those counties have not seen over 1/10 of an inch of rainfall in the last 30 days. Oklahoma City firefighters are reminding everyone to stay aware, saying the #1 cause of wildfires is human activity. Cleanup is happening in Roswell, New Mexico after flash flooding damages the city and surrounding areas. The flooding leaving 2 people dead. Officials say up to 300 people were rescued by the National Guard after more than 5 inches of rain fell. The New Mexico governor signed an emergency declaration for Chavez County, granting the area $1 million for relief efforts. A large fire is ripping through New Zealand's protected Waikato wetland on the country's North Island. The fire has burned 2,741 acres already, and authorities say it could take days to control it. It threatens the wetland's ecosystem, which is home to rare and endangered fish, birds, and plants. It's currently unclear how the fire started. And scientists are asking homeowners for help, finding special microbes that break down carbon dioxide. They say these microbes can be located in the slimy residue left in dishwashers. Kennedy, Chloe, back to you.
Well, thank you, Colson. Now, here on campus, it's critical for students to have access to resources they need to complete papers or projects. OU Nightly's Britton Ross has details on International Open Access Week.
Open access means free and equal opportunity to information for students, teachers, and researchers. And here at the library, they're celebrating Open Access Week with events and prizes.
So Open Access Week is an international week of celebration of the concept of open access for scholarly research. Academic libraries tend to hold a week-long series of activities.
So what does open access mean for OU students? So simply put, it means equity by making information freely available to anyone with an internet connection. You're ultimately removing the structural barriers that can often limit the ways in which research and ideas are accessed.
From a student's perspective is that when your faculty publish their research open access, that means that it's immediately available for free online, and students have access to greater research outputs.
If you want to learn more about the events or Open Access Week, talk to a librarian.
Talk to a librarian.
Open Access Week continues all this week, and you can find more information here at the library. Reporting from the South Oval, Britton Ross, OU Nightly.
The next event is tomorrow from 1 to 3, where you can learn about the library's subvention funding program. Still ahead, the City of Norman announces a new partnership to create a safe space for teens.
Find out which program they're partnering with when OU Nightly returns.
And record-breaking temperatures now, but when will the fall temperatures return? I'll have your full forecast coming up. Weather's next. And welcome back. I'm sure you've noticed it is very hot outside today, and we did break a record today. We reached 90 degrees in Oklahoma City, beating the record from 2003 at 89 degrees. And even tomorrow, we have a chance of breaking the record that we set back in 2003 for October 24th. 89 degrees is what we're forecasting for tomorrow, so we could get close, if not at that same value. Right now, though, looking out live in the Weather Center cam, it is bright and sunshine. You can see outside 89 degrees, a little bit of a wind. Humidity is low, so nothing crazy out there right now besides the temperatures. They are very high, just about 20 degrees above what we usually see this time of year in October. But something else that we are watching over the next few days is the wind's really going to start picking up, especially into tomorrow and into earlier parts of next week as well. Heading on into the rest of the evening, we're going to keep those wind values on the lower end, but take a look as we head on into tomorrow. We could reach 20 miles per hour by 11 a.m. So as you are walking to class, you could see even up to values of 30 miles per hour by 4 p.m. So that's definitely something to keep in mind as you are walking. And if you have any outdoor furniture, be sure to kind of keep an eye on that throughout the rest of the day tomorrow. But with the heat and the wind, you can see that we do have an elevated fire danger outlook for tomorrow. It does include a lot of middle Oklahoma, central Oklahoma included. So keep that in mind, especially with that burn ban that we do have for parts of Oklahoma. But the next chance for a cool down that we do have is Saturday. We could see temperatures right around average with the cold front moving through into the earlier parts of Friday. As that does move through, we're going to cool down a little bit on Friday and Saturday. Saturday is going to be our coolest day of the week with temperatures in the low 70s, 74 for that high on Saturday, and then into Monday, 84 degrees. So we are going to stay kind of on the warmer side, but still we are going to cool down a few degrees by Saturday. And this is also why we haven't really been seeing the fall leaves yet here in the parts of the Midwest and Oklahoma and stretching to our east. Really, we haven't been seeing a lot, but compared to our Northwest, they've been seeing those fall colors already this time of year. So if you are heading to Oxford, you might not see the fall leaves as well. Temperatures are going to be a lot cooler though, 53 by postgame, 48 by kickoff. The sunshine's going to stick around, so if you are heading out to that, make sure to bring a coat. It's going to be a lot cooler than what we're going to be feeling here. So over the next few days, the sunshine is going to stick around 80 degrees by Friday, 74 by Saturday. Moving on into earlier next week, it's going to be very windy outside, 84. We're going to stay in the 80s, so really no sight of those temperatures. Guys, I'm in a dilemma. I bought a fall candle last week, and now I still have my summer hand soap, and I'm like, goodness gracious, it's 90. What do I do? Like, I need to figure out which one to toss and which one to keep. You know what I mean?
You're going to have to keep both for a while.
The weather's confusing me, and I'm a meteorologist. I'm like, I need to figure out what to do. You know what I mean? So,
well, thanks, Carlin. The City of Norman has a new partnership that will create a safe space for teens. OU Nightly got a first look today at what will be the Boys and Girls Club of Norman at Reeves Park. It's part of a plan for the city to work with the Center of Children and Families. It will include Zena's Teaching Kitchen, an area to hang out, study rooms, and counseling spaces. CCFI CEO tells OU Nightly the city is leasing the building to them for a, quote, symbolic rate.
they are giving us this space for just $1 a year. And so we're really able to create magic here, and we're just thrilled to be in this location.
CCFI plans to have the space up and running by next summer.
And the Sooner football coaching staff have an old face in a new place.
See what OU players think of Joe John Finley's new role up next in sports.
And Sooner fans saw a new playmaker on the field Saturday. See what the newcomer had to say about his breakout performance up next in sports. Hello, I'm Hallie McPherson, and it's time for sports. While Oklahoma football is on the search for a new offensive coordinator long-term, some players are ready to move forward. Seth Luttrell and tight end Jake Roberts had history before Roberts became a Sooner. Having 2 seasons together at North Texas, Seth Luttrell has been a constant in Jake Roberts' football career, but Roberts says the team will stick together during this change.
Bad stuff's going to happen, and changes happen, and it's just part of the business and part of the game. And I feel like we've really just decided, we're going to stick together through all this. So that's all you can do, is come back to work, pull yourself up by the bootstraps, and get back to work.
Jack was back on the field last Saturday, but there were some new gloves to throw to as well. True freshman walk-on Jacob Jordan had a big-time debut, catching 6 passes for 86 yards. The Sooners knew that Jordan would be ready when his number was called.
A guy that just has been working, showing up every day, getting his reps, not getting the opportunity in game, but not letting that affect him, his practice habits, his attitude, his mindset, his effort. It's because of all those things that allowed him, when called upon, that he was ready.
I mean, just the preparation every week, just preparing as much as I can for the chance that I do get in, and I think that's what helped me succeed on Saturday.
Fans have been looking at all football season is back again. Another injury report comes out tonight, and there are some players to watch for. Last week, Deion Burks was listed questionable, and the 6 to 8 week mark recovery for Jaleel Farouk is coming up. Oklahoma football is going through their struggles, but with the basketball season approaching, OU men's head coach Porter Moser looks back on one of the hardest days he has lived as a coach. Last season's Selection Sunday, when the Sooners fell short.
I was pissed off this summer. It was the hardest day of that Sunday, was one of the hardest days of my professional career. To go through that Sunday when we felt unequivocally we were in, and had the year we had, over 20 wins in the best conference in the country, not get in. So this summer was the summer of what could we do better.
Taking it from Lloyd Noble to Los Angeles and the NBA Pro Sooner Austin Reeves made his season debut last night after missing last Friday's Laker game due to an ankle tweak. Reeves scored 12 points, had 9 rebounds, and 4 assists, finishing with a win against the Timberwolves. Kennedy, Chloe.
All right, well, thanks, Hallie. Now up next, a car wash is whirling into the fall season with the giving spirit.
We'll tell you how when we return.
I'm Kariana Gamboa with how police say a car ended up stuck on a set of stairs on campus yesterday. Police confirming to me this afternoon the driver of the car that ended up near Evans Hall was a Lyft driver who took a wrong turn. That driver told officers he was just following his GPS on his way to pick up a rider. It is not clear where the driver was going. A tow truck eventually pulled the stranded car off the stairs, and the driver did make it out safely. Chloe, Kennedy.
All right, well, thanks, Kariana, for that update. Now, a car wash is offering to pumpkin spice your ride for a good cause. The familiar scent normally reserved for this season's festive drinks is being infused directly into Boston cars for a good cause.
The Ultra Shine Upgrades November proceeds will go to support the nonprofit Community Servings. Earnings will provide holiday meals for ill and at-risk families and individuals.
And all that talk about pumpkin spice, you know, it sure doesn't even feel like pumpkin spice season here.
Not at all. I mean, we had a little bit of a glimpse of fall last week, but we've just ramped back up into summer temperatures again. We had record-breaking temperatures today, reaching 90 degrees in Oklahoma City, and tomorrow we have a chance to break a record again. So pumpkin spice, maybe not right now, but next week, maybe a week after that, we'll see that. But right now, you can see those temperatures are going to be in the 80s, continuing into next week.
Wow, all right. Well, thank you so much, Carlin, and thank you for watching OU Nightly. I'm Chloe Arroyo.
And I'm Kennedy Patterson. Be sure to watch OU Nightly live weekdays at 4:30. Good night.